Hi, I'm Bob Rubart with the Oracle Technology Network, and it's time once again for another 2-minute tech tip. Here to deliver today's tech tip is Oracle ACE Dan Atwood. Dan is a software solutions architect with Avio Consulting based in the Lone Star State. How are you, Dan?
Hey, good, Bob. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, no problem. Glad to have you. So what's the topic of your tech tip?
One of the things that people have struggled with is learning how to model processes, and I think I've got a tip for them on how to get started modeling business processes using BPM process patterns.
The clock will be running, an alarm will sound at the end of 2 minutes, and I will give you warnings at the final 30 seconds
Okay.
and the final 10 seconds. Are you ready?
I'm ready. That's a lot of pressure, Bob.
Your 2 minutes begins now.
Well, you may know business processes, they're literally the stories about how a business operates and how you want it to operate. The challenge, though, is people new to business process modeling, they initially feel a little overwhelmed by the modeling syntax, specifically the BPMN modeling syntax. Subject matter experts, SMEs, are telling them user stories about how their parts of the business run and how they want it to run. Business process BPMN, Oracle BPM process patterns, they're a practical approach. It's nothing new. In 2002, Professor Will van der Aalst out of the Netherlands, he came up with this idea for human workflow patterns, and they're actually applicable to BPMN. They're simple, they're easy to understand. The good news is once they're learned, they're immediately applicable. There are just 6 pattern areas. One is a procedural pattern, simple sequence, step by step. But also in that pattern area is you've got decision diamonds, gateways flowing through different paths. I've got advanced branching pattern where I can do parallel things simultaneously. But it's not just that. You can break out of that parallel path using an early release feature that comes with the product. There are structural patterns, and that's when you start thinking about collaboration and cycles. It's also where you think about ad hoc processes as well.
30 seconds.
There's multiple instance patterns. It's a way to split up the work. I've got a batch of work items coming in. I'd like to item at a time. And then I've got state-based patterns where you wait for notifications to occur before you continue on. That would happen when you have SLAs. And then finally, you've got cancellation patterns where you're able to send a notification and cancel out of an activity or an entire process. So patterns, you're going to run into patterns. You've got the reward for your process patterns is you're able to model processes faster and better and right the first time.
So you just got it done, didn't you?
Thank goodness, Bob.
I understand that you're going to be at Open World, standing in a booth, handing out stuff. What do you got?
So I've got these laminated sheets. Now, these are the individual activity and gateway and events. Those are the artifacts. And I've got a paper on these patterns. So drop by the booth. If nothing else, they're a good way to get started on modeling processes. Even if you're not using Oracle BPMN, they're still applicable if you're using any kind of BPMN syntax.
Okay. And who doesn't like free stuff? All right. Well, thanks a lot, Dan. And hopefully I'll run into you at Open World.